Hi, friends and fellow Earth Angels. It's Gladys, and welcome back to another one of my weekly Sunday card readings. And this spread will start by covering November 7th through the 13th, or whenever you're guided to watch, as I always intend these to be timeless readings. So welcome, friends. We are just entering the new moon in Scorpio. Scorpio is a water sign. Water is connected to emotions and feelings. Scorpio energy is the unseen. It's kind of like the death and the rebirth. It is like the Phoenix rising energy. And so how can you this week become empowered through any past pain, endings, completion, any transformation? This is a 5 universal year. 2021 is a 5 universal year, which is about change and transformation. We're in the last couple months of this year. So how can we now start rising up through the experiences we've had, the challenge, the adversity, the pain, right? So you can use this Scorpio new moon to set intentions, to invoke more laughter, adventure, play, fun, freedom in your life. Maybe that's in partnership, maybe that's in communities and different kinds of friendships, kind of expanding. So if you're feeling that emotional energy come up this week, be sure to honor it. Be sure to listen to the wisdom of the heart. The Scorpio new moon that started on November 4th also started the eclipse season, right? So the eclipse tunnel. I haven't had a chance to deep dive into that sacred energy yet, so I'm not going to talk about that. But if you're curious about this new eclipse cycle that we just entered, or this eclipse tunnel that we're in, I encourage you to check out Tanya Gabrielle. She's a phenomenal astronumerologist. Molly McCord, she's wonderful with breaking it all down as well. Or from there, kind of go where you're guided in the messages that feel empowering to you. Both of them offer plenty of insight on the astrology and what is going on with the stars to support you. So this week, I am going to be working with the Keepers of the Light energies. And then for the message of healing this week, I am going to pull from Sufi Wisdom. And action steps this week will come from Whispers of the Ocean. And what you'll be gifted with this week will come from Sacred Geometry Activations. And then I will finish with the overall message from the Wild Offering. So that will be our reading. Let me open up space. I changed the color here. I'm feeling this deep purple. Purple's connected to, this color is connected to the third eye and vision and insight, acceptance too. One of the things I've been inspired by lately is people who embrace their unique individuality. I was just watching, I was logged onto an app. It's a news source that I have gravitated towards, and I was just scrolling through some headlines, and I saw this violinist, and he was playing the violin ferociously to heavy metal music. Now, I was a metalhead for a long time. I very much enjoyed heavy metal music. I still do, which is why it captured my attention. I don't, gravitate with it very often, but I still will tune into it. And so it was really cool to see this heavy metal kind of thrasher music in the background and this violinist just going to town in sync with the music. It was phenomenal. And I was just inspired by his unique individuality and how he chose to share his gift with the world. And so I want to, inspire you to do that. You're all gifted with so many unique talents, and we live, for the most part, we're all living in a world where we can embrace our unique selves through art and music and creative writing and self-expression. We're moving into that energy next year of the 6th universal year, which connects with home and family and love and self-expression and creativity. So I would also encourage you this next couple months to really fall in love with your unique individuality. What makes you you, right? And if you want to go further, some really great work, as the Scorpio new moon can bring up, shadow work and stuff. If you dare to ask 5 people that are close to you, who are kind, ask them what they see in you, what they love about you, what is it that what is it about you that inspires them? Sometimes we have a perspective of ourselves and our own unique individuality, and hearing from other people. I did that once in a group. I was working with 17 men in recovery, and that was one of the things I did with the group. And then they asked if they could give me 5 things that they saw in me. And one of the things that they said that really threw me off was patience. They said that I was very patient, which at the time I did not see myself as patient. I was actually working on my impatience. So it was very encouraging to hear that that's how they viewed me. So, if you're challenged with your own uniqueness, and, if you're open to asking, that would be a really great exercise to do for yourself, to see how other people view you. So if any of you want to share in the comments, I am ending my 9-year cycle and beginning a brand new 9-year cycle, and I am in life review right now, and I am working through some changes in my life. And so if any of you, through listening or working with me, have some adjectives that you feel connect with me. Like I said, the group said patient and kind, and I think one of them was radiant or something like that, which was odd coming from a group of men. So anyway, if you want to share in the comments, that's fine. And then you can kind of see how it works. And then if you do that, then, ask 5 people to share maybe 3 or 4 or 5 words adjectives that they connect with you. Anyway, that just came up. Maybe that will help fill your tank and kind of get inspired in how the world sees you, in your gifts. So let me open up space. Let me invite in all your guardian angels and guides, the archangels, the ascended masters, the divine mother and father, and all their holy beings of light that would like to assist with this guidance for you today. Specifically, I want to connect with the keepers of the light beings. And I'm going to ask that the messages that come through be for your best and highest good, and the best and highest good of all concerned. All right, friends, let's begin. All right, keepers of the light, what guide wants to come out this week? And let's begin. Charity, prayer, and contemplation. I love this. It says, connect with heaven. Ask and you shall receive. So here's the thing. With this Scorpio new moon and this energy coming up, which can make us aware of the shadow work, So for me personally, I have been observing my own ego and pride and where I can be non-budging and where I need to be open to change and flexibility. So there's been a lot of contemplation and prayer coming up with that. So let me see here. So if you're in the space of doing a deep dive and making adjustments in your life on your spiritual journey, as I mentioned in the beginning, in the intro, asking 5 people that you care deeply about to share some adjectives that they connect with you, right? You could even send them a list of adjectives and ask them to pick 5 that they would connect with you, right? And then being able to sit and receive those words, being able to receive that energy, and being able to open up and shift to embrace your own unique individuality. So charity, ask and you shall receive. Charity, let me see here. I'm looking at her crown of roses. I feel like this is also connecting with the wisdom of the heart, and it goes along with embracing your unique individuality, right? So marching to the beat of your own drum, being able to love all parts of you. Let me see here. I feel like I want to look at the book here. You know, the reason why I'm hung up a little bit is because I feel like this week could be a little bit of a challenge for some of you, and I feel like that's where the message of connect with heaven comes up. If you're feeling challenged and the emotions are coming up, Charity is coming in to remind you to look up and be open to receiving the guidance from the heavens. Ask for assistance, ask for guidance, ask for support, and you shall receive. And being able to be open in the way that it comes. It says, the powerful Archangel Charity is drawing close to you at this time because she's recognized that you have goodness in your heart and you have put others first. She brings you thanks and support, and she says move into prayer and meditation with regard to any decisions you have to make at this time. You're being guided to take the time to breathe and receive. Know that you will have a real surge of intuition when it's time to move forward. Thank the angels for guiding you towards your highest good, and welcome Charity into your space with you. So understand that, you know, we are in this age of Aquarius. We are in this energy of the masculine and feminine energies being liberated from the old confines of the way society wants masculine and feminine energies to be and act and do. I'm really inspired by couples who are harmonizing their own inner masculine and feminine, working together and growing together and spiritually evolving together, right? Couples and partners and even friendships are expanding in love, right? And remember, the more light expands within you, the more that anything that's not in alignment or a vibrational match to that light that's expanding needs to come up and out. So there's this polarity energy or this duality energy, but understand it's not one or the other. It's a harmony, like the shadow and light, the yin, the yang. It's a whole, right? So how can we learn to find peace in the chaos? Right? We're now, and I know I've said this in other videos, we're now moving forward in uncharted territories vibrationally. And we're being gifted with being able to go back to the wisdom of the heart, being able to go in and getting insights. You know, I am finding that I am being guided to places where I'm needed in my life without even knowing it. And I'm guided to these places because they bring me joy or happiness or excited. I have like a free schedule in a sense where I try not to bog myself down with responsibilities and timelines and plans, right? So that I can navigate the energies right now and be in flow in how the divine wants me to be of service, right? And sometimes, remember, your presence and where you show up, a kind smile. Maybe it's a waitress that needs to be reminded of that beauty of that light. Maybe it's your kindness towards that waiter or waitress. Maybe it's your kindness towards that gas attendant. Maybe it is your generosity towards the youth through wisdom or through financial support in some way. And so maybe this is a really great week to ground yourself in being of service, but not saying, this is what I'm going to do, asking the divine, saying, how may I be of service today? And sometimes, friends, the best way for you to be of service to humanity is to sleep in, is to rest, is to read a book and fill yourself up. So I feel like this week, the Scorpio new moon energy is calling you back, maybe through challenges and adversities and discomfort, to get more clarity on what your needs are right now and what is still needing to shift and change as we evolve through this the rest of this year, 2021. So Charity is coming forward this week with hugs and love, and we're carrying in from last week that heavenly hug energy. So really embracing that receiving. We can certainly do it all on our own. I myself have been working to embracing support instead of feeling like I can do it all. I can make it all happen. I can learn it all. And really utilizing the support system that I have and the resources that each one of us are gifted with to expand and grow together. So we're moving in those directions. I feel like that message was multifaceted, but let's see how the rest of this unfolds. So Sufi wisdom, Charity. What healing message do you have for the Earth Angels this week? What's your message of healing? What is your message of healing? Concealed power. Give birth to the wonder of revelation. I see this shadow energy. So some of you this week may rediscover the hidden powers that have been seated deep within you. Again, this goes back to embracing your unique individuality. Who says things have to be a certain way? Again, going back to my example in the beginning of my talk was with the violinist who was ferociously playing along with this heavy metal thrasher music, and it was beautiful. The way he was harmonizing with this music, it brought out another level of notes that you wouldn't otherwise hear in the music in the background. And I was really inspired by his uniqueness and the way he chose to deliver this violin music. And you know what? You think, like, who says the violin has to be played a certain way? Who says you should be in an orchestra or a theater and play violin? So this is what Earth Angels have come to this earth to do. We've come to challenge society and say, who says it has to be this way, right? And sometimes it's not even challenging society, it's challenging our own belief systems that things have to be a certain way. So if you're feeling like you're stuck in these paradigms of have-tos and shoulds and responsibilities, where can you check in and say, who says, like, why am I doing it this way? Or who says that I have to cling on to this approach or this way of doing things? How can you activate that energy of flow and be open to receiving other ways of moving forward in your and growing and expanding in your divinity? And I feel like Charity is saying prayer and contemplation. This goes back to those feminine words that I love so much: stillness, pause, rest, silence, nothingness, surrender, right? So embracing these words of prayer and contemplation are in the silence. It's in the stillness. It's in the pause. It's in the nothingness. And I feel like from there, that's when our concealed power is revealed. Earth angels, through our own unique individuality, are revolting in a way. And I'm talking about in a non-aggressive, confrontational approach to change. We are learning how to embrace our individuality while laughing and playing and singing and dancing and doing our healing work. It is so cool how I have connected with earth angels all over the country that are all in alignment, all having somewhat of the same vibrational experiences. For me, observing it just is proof in the oneness that we all are, that connection of oneness. So when you're able to connect with that Christ conscious grid, right? If you need a visual, know that there is a grids that we align with, that we connect with vibrationally. It's the same grid that birds use, right? So birds are intuitively dialed in to the Christ conscious grid, the grid of the earth, and their own grid, which is like the Gematrian body, right? If you're curious about that, definitely look into the 5 higher bodies, and talks about our Gematrian body and how it helps us align with the wisdom and the frequencies that are unseen. Anyway, birds unconsciously shift it's like one brain, right? And so when one bird has the consciousness to shift paths, all birds shift with it, right? It's a feeling. They move vibrationally. It's very rare, if almost never, you see birds just flying into each other, right? I've been so fascinated lately with the birds, with the changing of the season. There have been so many in the sky, and they're forming all these patterns and these doing these dances in the sky. And I've been so fascinated. I'm so grateful for my sunroof because I can look up and watch them, and it's amazing how they're all so in sync. And, I just pray, like the earth angels who are awakening on this planet, we all start moving collectively in that energy, which we are, but we don't know it to that degree. So if you need that visual and in connecting, imagine that planet Earth has this grid around it, and all earth angels, all wise sentient beings have the ability to connect into this Christ conscious grid and gather information from the ancestors, from the Great White Brotherhood, right? It's a sacred energy, and you have to move through the layers. In my traditions, we're taught to move past 4th dimension into 5th dimension and above, but understand that can be interpreted in so many different ways because there are so many different words and thought streams based on these vibrations, right, of wisdom. So for me, it's like 5th dimension and above, but please, translate that however that resonates with you. But you're kind of moving past the dense energies of ego, and you're praying to move higher into beyond, like, let's say, the lower vibrational limitations of the ego. And so that comes with prayer over time. And so this is where we find our hidden powers of insight and wisdom in ways that we've never been able to experience those before. So it's going to be really fascinating the next 4 years or so to see how wisdom and energy and the divine wisdom shifts on this planet. All right, so let's see. What action steps, Charity, what action steps can the earth angels take this week to support their healing? Action steps can they take this week to support their healing? Okay, so we have this one. card number 44, which is the angel number, and it says unexplained wonder. Magical blessings and miracles are occurring in your life. All your prayers are answered now. So this goes along with prayer and contemplation, right? Who am I? How may I be of service? These are really great inquiry questions to the divine. How may I be of service? How may I best utilize my gifts? And once you send that energy out to the ethers, remember to pause and listen. Listen to the present moment. Listen to the sacred silence. Listen to the ticking clock. Listen to the barking dog. Listening to the screaming, if there is any around you. Use the experience around you. That's not what I'm saying. Not use the experience. Let any noises or distractions around you be part of the experience. The universe is always speaking. It is always using different facets of the material world to reach us and connect with us. So, one of the big things after prayer is contemplation. It's sitting and listening. So many of us, we're asking, we're demanding, we're micromanaging, bring this, bring that, take care of this person, then take care of that person, which is great. But we also want to get into the practice of pausing and listening to the experiences. Maybe you'll hear crickets, maybe you'll hear frogs, maybe you'll hear the wind. Allow whatever is in your environment to be part of the experience, and that in of itself could be message and guidance, right? So many times we think the messages are going to come a certain way, and so now you're learning to be multifaceted in your divinity, multifaceted in how you receive daily guidance. And I feel this unexplained wonder, right? So we see the 44 here. 4 + 4 = 8. 8 is also an abundance number. It is a number of cycles and rhythms and patterns. So how can we listen and pause and reflect upon the experiences we had, and being able to kind of be like an alchemist, transforming our pain into our power. So magical blessings and miracles are occurring in your life, and a lot of times those blessings and those miracles come from unexpected experiences, change. It comes from responsibilities that show up in our life. It comes from, financial changes. It comes from physical changes. It comes from our world adjusting unexpectedly. So again, if you're experiencing these transformations or these changes that are happening in your outside world, how can you sit with the energy and ask, what is the wisdom of this, and what am I learning? What is the blessing? So often we ask for change. We're like, I can't do this anymore. I'm not happy. The situation is uncomfortable and I don't like it. But then we can justify and we can make excuses for, and again, we can be in that place of fear, right? So I feel like so many of you are outgrowing those limitations, and through your faith, and through the anchor of hope, and through the divine continuing to show up over and over and over there and be there for you, I feel like as the doors start opening for you, change is going to happen, and I don't want to say it'll be less scary, but you'll be more encouraged to move through the fear, because it'll be an experience that is meant to empower you. And that's why I feel like through challenges and adversity, all your prayers are answered now. And it also takes time for us to see how that unfolds. I'm really being guided to this turquoise blue energy. Turquoise is the color of the Holy Spirit. It's a divine feminine color. Let me see. week I want to talk about prayer. In traditional practices, prayer is sending well wishes to loved ones or family and friends that are troubled or challenged. But prayer for the self, to receiving and saying, if you've got challenges, I pray for my heart to heal. I pray to learn from this pain in my body. I pray for the circumstance I'm in that feels binding to be lifted. I pray for the insight for me to understand why these experiences are happening the way they're happening. And again, it all comes from contemplation. So this message is for some of you who are filling your plate with have-tos and shoulds and responsibilities. You're being asked this week to make space, right? There is this unhealthy reward that society gives a person for being busy. I don't resonate with that word. It's a challenge for me. I don't like to be busy. I like to always be exploring and learning and having experiences. But I don't like the essence of busy where it's one thing leads to another, and there's no time to stop, right? Understand, if you're on that crazy train, it doesn't stop. In some way, we have to learn to set healthy boundaries for our time and our energies. And so some of that might come up for you this week as you're setting intentions with the new moon in Scorpio and your wishes and how you want to feel. Maybe you want to feel more at peace. Maybe you want to feel stillness. This is a really great time if you chose a word this year. I couldn't remember my word last reading or the reading before, but I remembered it. My word this year is passion. And I am reviewing that word and contemplating on how I've experienced that in the shadow and the light this year, and using the information to empower myself. And I'm also getting prepared to choose a word for 2022. Now, I still have at least 4 to 6 weeks before I start working with that energy, but this would be a really good time for you to reflect upon if you chose a word this year and really embracing the energy and the energy of it. I chose passion, and I'm understanding this space that I'm in my life. I'm definitely in hermit mode. It is part of my human design as a projector, and I am definitely in the hermit years, and so I'm doing a lot of contemplation, a lot of prayer, really gaining the wisdom through the experiences that I've had. I'm listening to the heartbeat of the earth, right? So I cannot do that if I keep saying I'm busy, right? So I learned that the hard way because I have had a lot of responsibilities. I've had a lot of change in my life, and so I'm making adjustments to create space so I can enjoy the gift of the present moment and gift of where the divine is leading me and flow. So I hope that helps. Of course, you can always at the end of the video pause and check the cards and do your own reading, reading them and then checking in with your own wisdom and insight. These cards are revealed like on camera. This is one stream. I don't stop and go here and cut the reading. So there's so many more layers to these. And that's why I think it's great to listen to it at the end of the week and maybe revisit certain things at the end of the week, or maybe at the end of the month to support you. There's just so many layers to these readings lately. It really is a phenomenon to be part of. All right, so charity. What are the Earth Angels being gifted with this week through these experiences of contemplation and prayer and learning and growing? Let's see. What are they being gifted with this week? soul time, space, right? Card number 44 is an angel number, so we have the 4 showing up again. 4 in a traditional numerology could also be a get back to work number. So let me see here. 4 is about stability and process. In life purpose, the 4 energy is about stability and process. So how are you working in your process of growth and development, right? So some of you, I feel like this is a message to say, keep going, you're growing. For some of you, I feel like the message is stay the course. And it's like following a step-by-step process to achieve your goals. So that's what the 4 means, right? So when I say get back to work, I don't mean get busy. I mean, like, how can you create disciplines and a solid structure for yourself to feel grounded and connected when it's in aligned to prayer, right? So the message here says the frequency of soul time asks us to allow the possibility of a new reality to emerge, one that embraces the concept that while the corporeal body is mortal, the soul is timeless, limitless, and infinite. So you're being gifted with time. So if you are putting self-imposed limitations and timelines on yourself that at this age I should, I ask you, who says get rid of those self-imposed limitations, those limitations on society? You know, we have family, cultures, and belief systems that put unrealistic expectations on men and women, and earth angels have come to this planet to challenge that to a degree, just like Jesus did, right? Jesus came to this planet to shift an archaic belief system and a way of being and activate the energy of love, unconditional love, oneness, humanity on this planet, right? So earth angels come from that vibration. They come from that thought stream. So you're being gifted with time, soul time, right? So maybe you won't be busy this week, or maybe you'll be so busy that you're craving that soul time. So know just the frequency of this energy. If you want to sit with the sacred geometry here, or if you want to sit with the energy and ask the divine to open up space for you for soul time. There's just such a pause energy here. Prayers are being answered. Concealed power comes from within. Prayer and contemplation. Soul time. There's this rest that's coming in. So maybe some of you are tired, and this is a message. And not that you need permission, but sometimes we just need to hear it. Is like, it's okay to say no and rest and hibernate if that is the season that you're in right now. And so let me finish with an overall prayer. Charity. What is the prayer that would be most beneficial for the earth angels this week? What is the prayer that would be most beneficial for earth angels this week? Okay. Let's see. Gratitude. This has come up in so many ways, different ways in this reading. It says, find just one thing you feel grateful for right now and let that gratitude pour through your body. It's a healing balm, like the warmth of the sun. Even if you can get out and enjoy the warmth of the sun. So that is the prayer. So I'm hearing, when we're busy and there's responsibilities and have tos and shoulds, and we understand that there are responsibilities. If you're a mom with an infant right now, there are responsibilities. If you are a person, or I should say mom or dad with a young child right now, or a parent with a caregiver with a young child right now, there are responsibilities that we can't skirt, right? So how can you be in what needs your attention now and let the rest figure itself out, So sometimes when we're feeling overwhelmed or bogged down in the unknown, uncertain, unseen, there's a lot of shifts happening with Earth Angels. There's a lot of movement. There's a lot of change happening. And so I feel like sometimes when we get caught up in the have-tos and shoulds, bringing our attention back to gratitude. I've kind of gotten caught up in responsibilities of like food shopping and laundry and emails and things that I have to catch up on that, I'm grateful are there. I'm grateful that I have sheets to wash and food to make, and I'm grateful that I have emails to respond to, and I'm grateful that, I have people who love me and are checking on me, and, but I cannot do it all. I can't do it all at once. I don't want to do it all at once. So I've had to learn how to navigate time and work with what needs to be done right now. In the interim, I'm so grateful for support. I'm so grateful for love. I'm so grateful for the time and energy to get everything I need to done. I'm so grateful for the pockets of time of the experiences I'm having with people that I wouldn't have had I not been experiencing these great transitions in my life right now. So I'm really practicing being present, right? And trusting in the natural flow that when it's time for me to take action, I will, and I do, and everything opens up and it's easy and it's effortless. And when I try to force things and make things happen and do it all and keep it all together, that's when I fall out of alignment. So just this simple prayer of gratitude, just this simple awareness of the wind on your skin, the warm sun on your face, just the gratitude of support and even just the divine support, guidance and messages. I remember when I was going through a really hard time with, relationships and my personal journey, relationships on all levels. I was so grateful for the teachers who were offering free content online. I was really struggling financially for a lot of years, and I had a lot to learn from that, and I was transcending generational ties and energy connected to finances and relationships and working and a job, right? So, I came here to transcend that, and I was so grateful at the time. I still am grateful. This is why I so lovingly give energies like this to the YouTube community who wants to receive it, because I know what being in hard times is, and I cannot be I cannot be thankful enough for those videos that came across my way to empower me and inspire me in times of darkness. So, know that if you can't do that right now and you're growing, evolving, and working through stuff, that, take a moment to receive the gifts of what is being offered to you, knowing that at some point when you feel abundant and you feel energetically empowered, you'll gift back others who are climbing up that ladder, right, of the spiritual journey. So, being grateful this week for the challenges, for the adversity, for the loving experiences that you're having, for the gifts that have plopped into your life. And, it'll be amazing how your life will transcend and things will unfold. You're aligning, friends. You're moving energetically and growing at a rapid rate. So we really have to practice that, being in flow and doing our healing work and being mindful about our own frequencies changing and shedding and growing, especially in the generational ties and binds. Earth angels have come here to transcend the dysfunction. A lot of us were born into dysfunction, and it's a blessing and it's a gift, but we're here to transcend it. We're here to change those old paradigms and old belief systems, those outdated thought streams of fear and doubt and separation and judgment, right? And that's part of being human. So when you do this work on yourself, and I do it and others do it, know that we're shifting the energy of the planet's frequency vibrationally through our own laughter, play, joy, our own inner peace, our own manifesting abilities, and our own creating in an organic, natural, fun way according to the wisdom of our heart and our unique individuality. All right, well, that was quite a message this week. I love it. So let me close space. Let me thank all your guardian angels and guides, the archangels, the ascended masters, the divine mother and father, and all their holy beings of light that assisted with this guidance for us this week, especially Charity. Goddess Charity. And I'm going to ask that any healing that was started continue for as long as it needs to be done. It's funny, I love how we started with this rose pink energy and we finished with this rose pink energy, and how these colors have kind of morphed into each other. It's really, really powerful. All right. Well, if I can be of assistance in any way, if you'd like to book a private session with me with divine guidance or a mediumship or life purpose, the information to book an appointment online is below. I'm also booking groups if you're local. I have been receiving requests to book private group readings. So if you're local here in Rhode Island and southern New England, and you are interested in booking a gathering, what I do is I go out to work with families and friends. It's usually groups of like 8 to 10. Sometimes I think I have a group this week. It's 20 maybe. So, but if you're interested in gathering with some friends and having a angel reading party, or if you've got family members, you've lost family members and you want to get family members who are open to mediumship, I am booking those through the holidays. So you can just email me if that's something you're interested in. All right, I'm gonna finish. I love you. God loves you so much. Trust in the divine, trust your intuition, and I send you love with heavenly hugs. Bye for now.